All right, that was great trying stuff. And I want to talk about one
Oh
or two
yeah.
quick things just before we get to our interview with Dana. I'm mixing up the
Yep.
sequence here a little bit. I wanted to talk about you were on CBC's Cross Country Checkup for a
Yes,
while
with
this
with
past
Ian
week.
Enemansing.
Hannah Mansing, what a
I can
voice that
say
guy.
that
Hannah
Enemansing.
Mansing, what a
Great
voice. What a
guy. I've actually
good
been
journalist.
interviewed by him several times, and I don't know. There's something we connect. It's so easy with Ian.
Well, I mean, he's such a wonderful interviewer. I go to school on a gentleman, a journalist like Ian. I'm just kind of curious for a few seconds. I mean, you were taking calls, right? You were taking calls from the people as you were talking. What was your gauge of the pulse? I mean, obviously, unfortunately, the weekend probably would have been dominated by a single issue, but people are starting to realize dairy prices are going up, and like, what's happening there, and talking about the food they eat, and what was your kind of what was your takeaways from spending time Vox Populi, or at least CBC Populi, talking to
I
folks on the show?
Yeah, I get a kick out of these talk shows. I mean, I actually enjoy talking to Canadians when they call into a show like that. It can go, as you know, Michael, it can go in 20,000 different directions, and people will come in with all sorts of questions because they're concerned about certain things. For the most part, I mean, if you've listened to the show, I mean, the first part of their questions, if you do consider them as being questions, they will tell you what they're doing. They'll tell you, this is what I'm doing as a consumer. And what I'm hearing are Canadians, taking control, gardening, grocery shopping in a different way. They're more strategic about what they do, which is really, I think, great news. I mean,
Hmm.
I actually do think that Canadians are more aware. We have taken food for granted for so many years. And in recent years, because of inflation, because of empty shelves, and what we've been through as a society over the last couple of years, I think people have a better appreciation for food, and food is they're allowing food to be a much larger part of their lives.
Mm.
And so, yes, I was there to answer a question, but my privilege, I saw it as being able to listen
Mm.
to Canadians concerned about all sorts of things related to food. But it was a half hour well spent. I really enjoyed myself with Ian. Yeah,
Oh,
did
that's
you listen
fantastic.
in?
I did listen in. I was just kind of curious about
I
you
was
being on the
expecting
other
your
end.
call, Michael.
Wish the producers would let me through. Um,
Well, I want to talk to this food professor guy. I think he's full of it.
yeah, I think he's full of it. I think he's full of poutine or
I got
something. I
my
don't know what's
smoker
going
at
on.
home, and
Yeah. Well, listen, it's wonderful for you to do. I mean, it takes, and of course, you're far from being, the woolly-haired academic that doesn't, leave and listen to everybody. I mean, you've got such a wide mandate, and it's a wonderful lesson. If there's any upside to this whole COVID thing, when your toast falls off the kitchen table and lands butter side up, kind of upside is that if people are more aware about the food they have, and it could lead to better health outcomes in the long run. More,
uh,
more awareness.
yeah, absolutely. And we talked about innovation with Dana, and frankly, it's hard to innovate when your market is not engaged. I mean,
Yeah,
it's just
yeah,
it's
yeah,
so
yeah, yeah, yeah,
difficult.
yeah. And that's why I
You
think
have
the grocers have a very important role. And we'll be at Cial, which is a big innovation conference coming up. We'll be together. We'll be doing podcasting. It'll be just a blast. We'll be meeting all kinds of great people. So look for that. We're going to support the Canadian Grand Prix Awards again, which is a different
Yep.
thing happening. Just our little bit, like trying stuff, our little bit to kind of expose people not just to the issues but also to the products, and people put more time and energy into what they eat and how they eat it. It's all good outcomes, man. It's all good.
Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely.